This is my last question. Who are your top 5 fighters of all time, excluding yourself?
Muhammad Ali.
Okay, why Muhammad Ali? Number one. I mean, he's my number one
because
too.
He went through, just because the way he did it. It's not just the what he did, it's the way he did it. You know, I mean, it's phenomenal, man. And his story, you know, being locked up, coming back, this and that, just everything that he went through, man. You know, just the way he entertained the world. You know, I mean, you know, and at his time, it wasn't the way he entertained the world; it's the way he entertained the white race. You know what I mean? To be accepted, to be that, you know, mildly, to have any brother mildly accepted, you know. And the way he did those interviews in that time, and the way he was educating himself with the Muslim faith, and just showing just different things, different aspects of the game. You know, when people when people say, you know, you're different, Keith, you know, like that's a compliment to me. You know, I feel like if you really ever want to achieve something great within yourself, you can't do it without being different. You gotta find that dimension within yourself, because we're all infinite beings. So you just gotta, don't be stagnant. Don't do what he does or they do. You can admire it, but don't replicate it in its totality. You can mimic something, but mimicking and replicating are different, you know? Right. So that's why I give, you know, he was the Michael Jordan, you know? We don't got Floyd shirts like this, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't got Floyd shirts like this, you know? I mean, he was like the Michael Jordan, man. Without him, there is no the money team. He was making all the money, you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. And boxing in his generation was one of the greatest sports that America had to offer. It was baseball, because that's true, you know, baseball and boxing. Mm-hmm. That's all there was.
And then especially the heavyweight vision on top of that. Like, man, yeah.
You know, I got one of my personal favorites of all time is Aaron the Hawk Pryor.
Okay.
You know? And I love the irony in the documentary. I think it was a Showtime doc that they did on Aaron Pryor. And he used to run around and he'd be like, "What time is it? Hawk time. What time is it? Hawk time." Aaron the Hawk Pryor. And you know, out of, you know, no relation to it, but my nickname ended up being Keith One Time. So I got that little time aspect in there, you know.
Right. So
it was just funny for me.
He's in your top 5?
Oh, he's my favorite, one of my favorite of all time. So he's always in my top 5.
Oh,
you know
okay.
What I mean?
Okay.
This is a very personal preference to me. I just love the man that was different. He had such a great amateur career. You can watch him beat Tommy Hearns in the Olympic trials or some kind of high level amateur competition on YouTube today. It's still out there, you know. Aaron the Hawk Pryor versus Tommy Hitman Hearns as amateur before they both were ever pro, you know. And then the word on the street is that Sugar Ray Leonard never wanted to fight Aaron Pryor. You know, some say it had to do with the cocaine, and some people say he just never wanted it. You know, it just is what it is, man. Aaron Pryor, from that documentary, and just being a fighter that was feared by other great fighters. Like, yo, I kind of don't want to, you know, when a world class fighter knows that dude over there, he a problem. Like, yo, he a headache. You know what I mean? Like my boy Winky Wright, and how Oscar De La Hoya never wanted to see my boy Winky, because he saw what he did to Tito, and he said, "Boy, I will never get in the ring with Winky Wright." You know what I'm saying? So some people know that boy over there is a problem. So I like those kind of fighters, man. You know, and for me, Aaron Pryor also had a style that I really enjoyed. You know, he's a real fighter. Quick hands, just non-stop heart, 120% heart. You know, I like Tyson because of how just the power, the explosiveness and the power and all the knockouts and the highlights, and this is what I want to see against Roy I want to see the old school punch. I want to see the right hook to the body with the right uppercut. Left hook to the body, left uppercut. That's that Tyson combo, man. Not too many people know much about that right uppercut or right hook, right uppercut, man.
Yeah.
But that was a bread and butter move for Tyson, man. And you know, his little technique. A lot of people learn how to do this, but not a lot of people bring that technique into the ring, into real everyday fights. But Tyson did, you know, and it's just the level of excitement, you know. And then, you know, I still do consider Floyd one of the best ever, in my top 5, just because I watched so much. He did so many things the right way. So many things were done very right. And defensively, like I keep saying, number 1. Defensively, number 1. You know, the offense wasn't the most entertaining, but the defense was so on point. So I put him out there, man.
I think that's 4, so one more.
I'm trying to, you know, I did Evander, man. Evander was bad.
Oh, he one of my favorites too, man.
Evander was bad. I met him in person, man, and his fist was like a real brick, like a whole mortar brick. Like, what? What's this? You call it a fist, I call it a brick.
Yeah.
Like, man, no wonder why you beat Tyson, boy. Like, man. You know? I like his story. I like his story, knowing that he was a cruiserweight that became heavyweight champion.
Right. Yeah. Because he was like, at that time, when he became heavyweight, he was like one of the only heavyweights that was like a real boxer. Like you used his feet and he'd come in, he'd come out. And, you know, a lot of the heavyweights at the time were stationary. They weren't moving around too much. So, and he was light. Like, I think he was like 215 when he was a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I like Tyson. Tyson was small. He was so short that I just like the short dude beating up tall dudes. You feel me? But yeah, Evander was like a boxer at heavyweight when the rest of them was sluggers.
Yep, Evander was nice with it, man. And the way he trained, and you know, he stayed muscle bound, and he just was bad, man. He was a bad heavyweight.